That's the shit right there.
Yeah.
That is the shit. That was pretty good.
Yeah, we didn't have to do that 7 times.
Hey everybody, welcome back. So we're back doing this again. Deep dive, doing Slipknot, Behind the Mask. That's so cheesy. Behind the Mask, Slipknot, Corey Taylor. This is our second attempt. So we've already done several Slipknot, Corey Taylor deep dive episodes leading up to this, and we broke up his therapy session into 4 parts. So to get us back in the mindset, Mason and I are going to watch that again, at least that section that leads up to what I think connects to this video. This is the capstone of the whole deep dive into Corey Taylor thing because it's this biggest hit. This is Slipknot's biggest song. I believe they won a Grammy for this. And I think this makes sense to end on this. And I also think that through this therapy thing that we kind of see a little bit more context into what leads into this type of song, because this is the Slipknot that all the fans really connect with. Yes, they're a little bit harder, a little bit crazier in their first 2 albums. But as far as what we featured in these last 5 videos, this is definitely much more in the vein of what brought in most of the Angry Boys to the table.
Let's individualize them.
Okay.
I like your word, initialize.
Yeah.
Domestic violence, poverty, instability, childhood sexual abuse. That would be child, even though you weren't touched.
I wasn't by my family.
Oh, okay.
I was raped by someone in the neighborhood. It was an old,
How old were you?
10.
How old were they?
16. Where we were living at the time, we moved around a lot. So obviously I had to make friends quickly. And there was really only one person to kind of hang out with, play with. And he was this 16-year-old kid. And he would invite me over to his house to play music. And one day it became something else. And I didn't tell anybody for a long time because he threatened to hurt me, threatened to hurt my mom. He ended up burning his house down. They fled in the night. It was kind of crazy.
Well, you know, that could attribute to a lot of the acting out behavior.
Yeah.
You know, I never really knew where it came from until you shared that. I knew Dad wasn't there and Mom was unstable, but that is a severe psychological wound, especially for a young man. It's very damaging to the psyche and very unsettling.
It took me a long time to feel safe.
Yeah. That's the real wound. That's the real...
So I want to pause right there. I mean, that's kind of, that's like the big reveal of this. This is my 3rd time seeing it, and it has not gotten easier to hear. With the first 2 albums, I always felt like I could not relate. I felt like it was so negative that it could not have a healing capacity.
Yeah.
I mean, the second track on their second album is called People Equal Shit. And I'm like, that's just so far removed from what I feel inside that even in my angriest days, I could not relate to it. But when you hear Corey Taylor talk about his childhood and then being betrayed, if that happened to me, would I be that person and be like, yeah, people equal shit? That's my anthem this year. Because sometimes you got to go through the anger phase before you accept it. This is where I'm going to make an apology to the Slipknot fans. Maggots, I used to talk shit about this band all the time because I thought that the pain and the negativity on the first two albums was disingenuous. I thought at the time, they were doing that in order to make more money. This is where I'm just going to throw my hands up and say, God, I'm fucking wrong.
Yeah. I remember the first time we recorded this, we kind of talked about how Slipknot kind of was almost a late comer to the new metal scene.
Yes. So it seemed opportunistic.
Yeah,
right.
It seemed super opportunistic and commercial. And that was like almost kind of how I thought about it too. I was like, oh, look, I'll bet they'll sell a lot of masks. You know? It felt very fake to me. And it and commercial. It almost, felt like, let's just make really generic, angry music. Definitely going through this, I have such a deeper respect for Corey Taylor specifically, and actually, just even Slipknot as a whole.
Yeah. Oh, it's time. It's time to get into Slipknot Duality. This video is pretty cool because it's Slipknot and their fans. They put out a call to Slipknot fans. People flew in from all over the world, and I mean that, all over the world. People came in from Europe. And they filmed it at a fan's house in Iowa, but they didn't just let any local come in. You would think you would announce it, and then everyone in the town, even if they don't like Slipknot, like, oh, I'm gonna be in the video. That'd be me. Even not as a fan, I'm like, if I'm living in that town, I'm gonna be in the video, of course, right? So what they do, they actually interviewed everybody and made sure that they were true Slipknot fans. There we go.
I push my fingers into my eyes. It's the only thing that slowly stops the ache. But it's made of all the things I have to take. Jesus never ends. It works its way inside. If the pain goes on.
I feel like I didn't prepare for this nearly enough. God. The video starts with an image of a fan looking very distraught. His shirt's already off. It's like, this whole thing is about, we're not just Slipknot. We're Slipknot and you as the fan, All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
It's the only thing.
I'm going to crank this as loud as I can get it.
But it's made of all the things I have to take. Jesus never ends. It works its way inside. If the pain goes collapsed, I've waited as my time's elapsed. Now all I do is live with so much fate. I've wished for this, I've bitched at that. I've left behind this little fact: you cannot kill what you did not create. I've gotta say what I've gotta say, and then I swear I'll go away. But I can't promise you'll enjoy the noise. I guess I'll save the best for last. My future seems like one big past. You're left with me cause you left me no.
No, man, I can't get this video out of my head. I'm sorry, Corey. I feel like we're on a first name basis because it's a therapy session. But I'm really sorry, man. I'm going to say what we just listened to is what I hate about Slipknot. I cannot, the way he's singing, it's not rap, it's not spoken word. I don't know what it is, but it doesn't match the intensity of the video, in my opinion. And I'm just like, because I know what's coming later in the video, I'm almost like, can we just get on with it already? And
okay,
yeah,
I'm gonna ask you about this.
Okay.
What do you think of the musical elements of the verses? So like the boom 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 boom, that riff, and then the building,
it's amazing.
You like the music parts. Okay.
Yeah, and then Corey Taylor starts whispering into the microphone, and my mind goes blank as I'm just like, what am I
gotta say what I gotta say, but I can't promise you'll stage noise.
Yeah, I mean, and I really do. I feel really bad saying it.
Okay.
And then but now I just know I just gotta wait. Gotta wait for the rest of the song.
Gotta wait for it. Yeah, because listen, y'all, this chorus kicks my ass. So I like it. I like the verse. It's not amazing, but for Slipknot, I like it a lot. On the Slipknot scale, yeah, I can dig it. I like that. I like that it gets really kind of quiet.
Yeah,
I'm not that into the way he's doing it. I mean, I would prefer a different approach to the vocal right there, but I like the musical aspect, the musical dynamic. I like a lot. And then the other part, I can kind of ignore it. So it's quiet enough. So
yeah.
All right, let's get to it.
All right.
Save the best for last. My future seems like one big pass. You're left with me because you left me no choice. I push my fingers into my eyes. It's the only thing that slowly stops me. Hey, if the pain goes on, I'm not gonna make it. Put me back together, or separate the skin from bone. Leave me all the pieces, then you can leave me alone. Tell me the reality is better than the dream, but I found out the hard way. Nothing is what it seems. I push my fingers into my eyes. It's the only thing that slowly stops me. But it's made of all the things I have to take.
Oh shit! That's the shit right there.
Yeah.
That is the shit. When he is connecting like that with the fan, he's grabbing his hair and they're singing into that microphone together. That is, I don't care what band you're a fan of. That is your dream to be able to do that with the singer, you know? And for a band like this, where they're connecting on such a deep, painful level.
Yeah. And this is where I think the video really starts to capture what it's like to be on the main floor of a rowdy band, a raucous band, you know. Yep. And they really capture it, and they continue. It gets better as the video goes on to capture the, you know, like the sweat, what it feels like to be there. I mean, like this video is the personification of being on the main floor of a heavy metal band. The kind of the chaos of it, the heat, you know, like you see the people sweating and stuff, and I just love the part where the people fall through the floor.
I know. Holy shit!
Holy shit, man!
Oh shit! Hey, just so everyone knows, I know I said this is a fan's house. They did not have approval to wreck the house. Yeah. Slipknot had to write a check after this. Yeah. That just kind of happened spontaneously.
This, like, from about here on out, if I remember correctly, is where I start to really like the song. Yeah. Because it maintains that level of intensity. And even when they bring it down, they do it in a much better way, in my opinion. And from here on out is where I really like this song. And I've never, before we watched it for the first time, doing this video, I had never made it this far in the song. I was very happy that you forced me to watch it and that we got through the whole thing.
So what I'm going to point, so behind me right now, make believe. Behind me right now, you will see myself and our friend Jim at a concert, front row, Boy Hits Car. Mason's not in this picture, but he's there with us.
I think my hand might be.
I think your hand might be up there. So we got to experience this a little bit that night. That was one of the best concerts of my entire life, one of the best nights. And it had that same feeling of community. And maybe for those who aren't into hard rock can't understand what that feels like, but it can feel like cathartic and amazing. And you walk out feeling really connected to everyone. And for a bunch of alienated loner teens, that's the best we can have, you know? It's awesome. It just brings me right back to that moment. Hell yeah. All right, so before we do this, I want to connect everyone to what this part of the song is supposed to be. In my opinion, what he's trying to capture here, what he's trying to capture with this video. This is cathartic meditation therapy. This is going into that deep space, thinking about what's causing you trouble, and really letting it go. The lines he's saying here is, all I got is insane. And he's going to build up to a release. And to demonstrate what they're doing, I'm going to show you what it looks like in a more professional setting.
That's the real wound. That's the real. I never heard it until that. Yeah. That's the real. And you didn't tell anyone until what year? How old were you?
Oh, I was
after 17. Huh?
Yeah.
See, that's all that suicide. That's all that you didn't deal with. The drugs, everything. The mask, everything.
I didn't tell anybody until I was probably 18.
Yeah, yeah.
And by that time, I'd found my tribe, as it were, like my tribe of misfits.
Does that look familiar?
And
yeah.
Of everything you shared today, that feels like the head on the nail of the original cell from which all of your symptoms, your drug addiction, your masking, your trying to give your heart to someone, them abandoning you. Again, you felt like you trusted someone and they, you know. So that's the work. All of this other stuff is symptom. So you are a rape abuse survivor. Go to a survivors group, a sexual abuse survivors group. That may help you continue to release that.
Yeah. I never even thought about that.
Yeah, that's there it is. Just close your eyes for a second and pucker your lips, inhale through your mouth. Exhale through your nose. We're consciously breathing. It's very private. I'm not going to ask you anything to share that you don't want to. But please have the experience while we're here of healing this wound. And all of your subsequent, I'm sure you became sexually promiscuous at times. I'm sure you had periods to where you didn't want to be touched. I'm sure you may have had periods to where you felt sexually inadequate. Go through that now. And feel what you see. Don't run away from it. Open your mouth wide. See that little boy there. Quit fighting. Just let the little boy heal. Open your mouth wide just for the last few seconds. And through your mouth. Through your mouth. Go through the paranoia, the pain. Go through it as much as you can. Live it, see it. You're releasing this stuff. I'm not sitting you in it. I'm trying to get it out of your psyche. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. You just did the work. Let it go. Let it go. Just breathe through your nose. Let it go.
All right. What do you want to say?
take a breath.
Man,
You're gonna go and see how you release it like that, I guess, through very, angry, violent music.
Absolutely. Go.
I'm not gonna make it.
The audience is closing their eyes.
Oh.
Just like the therapy video. Let it out.
I push my fingers into my eyes. It's the only thing that slowly stops the ache. I was made of all the things I have to take. Jesus never ends. It works its way inside. If the pain goes on, I'm not gonna make it.
We mentioned that we recorded this. We had some technical difficulties and we're recording it for a second time. So between my past self and my current self, there were a number of weeks where I have not been able to get this video out of my head. And the one thing that I keep coming back to is when he gets to the all I've got is insane part and it's building up and you see the one guy kind of on the ground
Crying.
curled up in a ball of pain and everyone kind of stopping and stuff. And we talked the last time about like what do you think led up to that? And what I think, I don't know what led up to it, but what I think, what I've come to believe is that I think that imagery of the guy curled up on the floor is the perfect imagery of what happens when the white hot rage that Slipknot can pull out of you is gone. And you're left with the broken self, the shattered person that's inside that caused that rage. Because that rage can only last for this very short, brief moment in time before you just burn yourself out. And it's not very healthy. You don't solve anything. I'm not making fun of the guy. That shattered person is still there and needs to heal.
Yes.
And I think that's the perfect imagery of that. And that like all I've got is insane leading into that, I think is like perfect. The last 45 seconds, 30 seconds of that video is amazing. There's so much going on in there that, like I said, I feel like I talk for another 20 minutes on it. It's just,
absolutely.
It's great. It's so good.
I would love to know, any Slipknot fans out there who were there that day, how did that happen? They put all the kids outside. Obviously, they were doing the closed eyes thing. This leads me to believe Corey maybe came out and talked to them. Close your eyes. Go into that space with me and maybe shared like his struggles and maybe connected in that way. I can't imagine how he pulled that out of a bunch of Slipknot fans that showed up for a party. It's not like they put out the call. All right, you fucks, who's going to cry on camera for me? I imagine they came and probably were very excited and happy to be there. So how did they get that moment? I would love to know, but I do think it's genuine and
for sure. I have no doubt it's genuine.
Yeah.
I remember the line I said last time was something along the lines of, you've got a bunch of Slipknot fans. You think the producer's going to come out there and be like, all right, start crying. Like, I mean, what is the reaction going to be? I have
fuck off. Fuck you. Where's Corey at? I want the cloud.
I can guarantee it's a genuine. I can guarantee it's a genuine moment.
Gonna make it.
All I've got is insane. All I've got is insane.
All I've got is insane. All I've got is insane.
I fucking love the shot of him like throwing his little keg drum on the ground.
Yeah.
It's fucking great. Listen up. Guys need this kind of shit. We need it. We need it. Therapy is important, and I think what you can do in therapy is probably more sustainably healing in a sense. But there has to be a healthy place for the rage to go. If there's not a healthy place for it to go, you know where that leads. And we've seen too many tragedies of angry boys taking it out on others as they self-destruct. They're gonna make everyone else remember their pain. There should be some acceptance of male aggression being a good thing, and cathartic expressions of male aggression within music is a good thing when it's done right. I think it's very much done right in this video. So I think this is one of the best videos of that kind of expression. And fuck, I need more of that in my life. I'll tell you that. I miss it. And I think for young boys that really don't know, they don't know anything else. They just live in that space all the time. They need it. They fucking need it. Any final thoughts before we sign off on the Corey Taylor deep dive?
No, I think I can't think of anything else to add.
All right. That made a believer out of me. I believe the pain's real. So, all right. Thanks, everybody. See you later.
All right.